A public meeting held at City Hall is leading to some changes in the way businesses could be able to display their signs.
This was a stakeholders meeting for temporary sign ordinance proposed amendments. There are several amendments that are being taken place with the sign ordinance. Basically, the majority of them are increases, and we are taking the bulk of the ordinance and combining everything that has to do with temporary signs into one section. So it would be a lot easier for someone who's not familiar with our ordinance to find out what is allowed with our temporary signs.
The March 3rd meeting was held in an effort to gather input from business owners as well as citizens regarding proposed amendments to the city's sign ordinance. The proposed amendments mainly concern temporary signs and exempt signs, which are regulated by the Building and Codes Department, but they do not require a permit.
The main purpose of the regulations is to have aesthetically pleasing, not a proliferation of signs all over town, and for safety purposes, vision sight triangles, like I said, signs that blow into the road.
A few changes to the current ordinance are being proposed to try to aid citizens and employees in making policies as effective as possible.
I would have to say enforcement is probably one of the most difficult tasks with this particular job in the field, just because you can fix a lot 1 week and 2 weeks later it's back out of compliance again.
Representatives from the Building and Codes Department provided a presentation on the proposed amendments. The meeting drew a group of business owners and concerned citizens to listen to details about the proposed amendments, ask questions, and voice their concerns.
Generally, the citizens of Murfreesboro, we get complaints about a proliferation of signs throughout the city. So we try to keep a balance between aesthetically pleasing and be fair to the businesses at the same time. If you're a citizen and you want to have a yard sale, you need to know what the regulations are for temporary signs. You know, you can ask a neighbor on a corner if you could put a temporary sign in their lot, and you can have up to 4 of those per event that you have. So signage is primarily for businesses, but the general public wants to have the knowledge of what is allowed as well, just because, like I said earlier, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Some people really like signs, and that's generally the business owners, and some people don't really like signs, and those are generally the citizens.
And while this public meeting only introduced proposed sign ordinance amendments concerning temporary and exempt signs, other proposed amendments concerning permanent signs may be discussed at a later meeting.
Right now, everything is all over the ordinance. You're prohibited and you're exempt, and your removal of your signs, your violations and penalties for the signs, those are all in different sections throughout the ordinance as a whole right now. So we're taking everything that has to do with temporary signs and putting them all in one section. And then the next ordinance revision that we will do will be the zones. We're taking everything about permanent signs within zones and putting them in one section where that will be easier for them to locate.
If you want to find out more information regarding the proposed amendments,
it can be found on our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov, and on our main page at the very bottom there is a link that will take you to the proposed ordinance amendments.